Hey guys, just thought I'd make a video here tonight talking about the reasons why I think I'm going to give a list, and then I'm going to go in later on details in other video, in future videos, go into details, into details of each reason of why I think I'm destined to be, like I said, incel. I don't really like using that term because it's really, I'm like Monday Blue on his channel. If you've ever watched Monday Blue, Monday FA, I like to watch this. It's more than just sex. I mean, if it was just sex, you'd go out and get a prostitute, right? If that was all that you needed to satisfy you, you just go out and get sex, go to get a one-night stand at the bar, even though that would be hard for us too. But, it's more like he said, it's FA, which he calls forever alone, and because it's relationships, we're not able to have a relationship with a woman. It's not even much about just getting laid. That's not the point, which I don't care about that. Getting laid, that's not. If I did that, I would just go study game and try to go to a bar and get women. That's not what I'm going to out to do. But I'm going to go into future details in future videos detailing each reason. But right now, I'm just going to give you the list of reasons that I think I am destined to be that. Number one, the benzo withdrawal. If you don't know what benzo withdrawal is or psychiatric drug withdrawal is, look it up. Go on Wikipedia and look it up. There actually is an article now about it. And what I have is known as protracted benzo withdrawal. It is horrible. I've had it since 2010. It actually started in 2008, and I got put on meds again, so at that time, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. But it's been all total, I've been off all these medications since 2010, and it's almost 2020, so there you go. It's been almost 10 years, for goodness sakes. And it's a horrible thing to go through, and there's just no way as a man. A woman can always get a man, so that's not really an issue, but it is almost impossible for a man if he is not in a relationship, unless his symptoms are not physical. There is no way he can get into a relationship with a woman. So, number one is definitely the benzo withdrawal. Number two, I would definitely say my autistic disorder. I am on what they call the autistic spectrum. And people on the autistic spectrum have different problems. Some are worse some people can be on the spectrum and they'll have symptoms similar to mine, but they'll have worse, one symptom for them will be worse than mine. Like some of they may be more, worse at social awkwardness than me, or they may be worse at coordination problems, than me, sort of that way. But my main issues are the social awkwardness, the learning disabilities, which I've always had, which is the reason I got on the benzos, which I'll go through in another video. I had that, and I also have the poor motor skills, the coordination. I have what they call the little motor problems in my fingers. It's just I'm not very coordinated, and it's hard for me to take directions. Like, if you pointed out, go over there, Shane, I need you to help me fix this Coke machine here, we need, we got to do this. Hand me a so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and, hand me a so-and-so wrench or so-and-so something. I don't comprehend that. I try. But, of course, then I would get nervous, and, of course, that's going to make it worse, right? So I have that problem, too. And there's just no way to get in a relationship with a woman if you're having a lot of autistic problems. There's just no way. And I don't have the social skills to meet women. I just don't have. I've tried, and it's a difficult thing. And Monday Blue is right. He made a series of videos called The System of FA, and he's right that it ain't just one thing for most of us. It's been a series of things in our lives that have kept us alone, Because I'm not just alone with women. I mean, I'm alone in friendships, pretty much. I've had a few friends in my life, but not many. And I'm pretty much alone now, except for my family. And the system of FA, like he was saying, it's just problems just kept mounting and mounting and mounting. Unlike other people, you didn't have ways, to meet people. But that's the second reason would be my autistic disorder. The third reason, I'm poor. And that also leads from the autism. I never was able to really work. Like, I can work around the house and do things there, but like job, I never was able to do. I had a job when I first got out of school. I went to work at a grocery store, and it just didn't go well. I was about 19 years old, and it went horribly wrong. I know I was going to get fired. I messed up things. It's hard to explain. It's hard to remember it all now. It was so long ago, but let's just say it was not good. Everything went wrong. But it was that. And, what happens if you don't work unless you're born into wealth? Well, you have no money. So I don't have money to take women out on dates. I don't have money to buy anything much at all. Travel, buy anything. I certainly couldn't buy a house. I can't buy a house. I can't buy an apartment. I couldn't buy a car. I can't do any of those things. And in our society, I mean, it's pretty much everywhere, but especially obviously here in the United States where I live, the man pretty much does it all. I mean, he really does. People can say, well, the woman does, but the man has to. A woman can be, and I'm not trying to be a woman hater here, I'm just giving facts, that a woman can be nothing, literally, other than her looks or whether you're attracted or whatever. She can be an absolute loser in her life, right? I mean, just a failure. And she can still meet a man. A man, he'll take her, he'll take care of her, he'll marry her. And that's one option a woman has, a man does not. If she comes from a poor family, like I did, we didn't have a lot of money. My dad died, and we just didn't have a lot of money. And I grew up with a single mom because my father died of cancer. And that's what happens. When he died, she didn't remarry because her marriage was bad. I'm not going to get into all that, but it wasn't a good marriage, and she didn't want to get remarried. And which is fine with me. I don't know if I'd have wanted a stepdad, but the point was we had no money. We were very poor. And that costed me. I couldn't afford to get a car at 16. I couldn't drive anyway. I'll get into that later. But, there you go. No way to date. No way to have friends. No way to do much of anything. And it truly affected me in my life and kept me as an FA. It truly did. I never, you never realize it, but he talks about Monday Blue, talks about in his video that the normal time for dating and really developing these things is between the ages of 15 and 25, and some people, of course, get married before 25. Well, I had none of those things. I did absolutely nothing until I was 25, in that way. So I was completely behind, everybody. But, yeah, that was definitely not a good thing. I was very poor. Like I said, when a man is poor, his chances of meeting women become much, much less available. He's going to have to be a very good-looking guy. That's just to get dates. I don't think a woman's going to marry a man that's poor. She's just not going to. She might keep up a real alpha-type guy, but he's going to have special skills, man, to do that. Because if you're a penniless guy, you ain't got a job yet, you ain't getting no women. You're certainly not going to get married, and you're not going to get a long-term relationship. Well, that was one of the problems. The next problem I had is I couldn't drive. I can now. I've been driving for about 5 years now. But I couldn't drive for the longest time. And in high school, of course, what does that mean when a guy can't drive? He's not going on any dates. He's not going to get a date, pretty much. He might, but pretty much none. And that's the thing. I remember my mom said, well, if you ever meet a girl, I'll take y'all somewhere. And say, come on, man. Really? It's not going to happen. And I'd have been too embarrassed and humiliated. Oh, God, my mom's driving me around, at that age, And it just wasn't good. That was a problem for me. And I didn't learn to drive. At 28 years old, say I was going to come off the medications, really try to turn my life around, learn to drive, try to go on dates, blah, blah, blah. I was still fairly positive then. And that's when the benzo withdrawal hit. Of course, that lasted years and years. I wasn't able to drive and learn to drive. I was too sick. I was too damaged mentally and physically and emotionally. So there you go. See how that's all piling up and keeping me FA. And I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, another reason I was too short. I'm only 5'7", about 5'6", 5'7". That's not very tall. And women have a preference. Not all women, obviously, but a lot of women have preferences for tall men. Well, I'm not very tall, and I had to take that crap in school. I remember there was a girl that I thought she liked me. And they were talking about, well, why don't you go out with, I ain't going to say my name and everything, why don't you go out with him? And they kind of talked about me, and she went, he's cute, and that kind of made me feel good. And then she went, but he's just a shrimp. He's like a little boy, which we were in school, so I didn't quite get that. But she was like, he's a little boy. He's so small. There you go. I always had to take that, see. That never really went away. And people weren't always that cruel, but it was definitely, he's short. He might be a sweet guy. Of course, they didn't know what else about my life, too. But, I mean, they could have thought I had money and everything else. But there is a thing about being short that keeps you from getting married. And you take a lot of abuse as a short man. You take a lot of grief and insults from other men. And women will do it, too. Because I had it a little bit. Not real bad. I mean, the men were far worse. But I got a few jabs at times from women. And here's the reverse again. That's no problem for a woman. I mean, yeah, men may be attracted more to taller women with the long legs and all that kind of stuff. That she may not be able to always get the men that the tall woman is. But she's not going to be FA for that. That's not going to happen. And women want taller men. And most of the time, men want women that are shorter than them. Not all the time, but a lot of times they do. So, there you go. That's my reasons for why I think I was FA for so long. It's not the only reasons. I have other reasons, too. But I think those are the main ones. I think they'll suffice, as we say, that you'll understand that it was a system for me. Oh, I did forget one. One more. No one ever helped me meet anybody. And I know a lot of it was because people knew I had learning disabilities. I didn't have any money. And women knew that no woman was going to go for me. In that, for a marriage or anything like that. But I never had anybody help me to get a date. Like, I never anybody, oh, poor Shane, he'd really like to go on a date. I never had that. And I had friends that did. I had people that, oh yeah, they helped them meet somebody. That never happened for me. Never. And that's not right. That no one just at least got me a date. At least just helped me meet somebody, And I learned that so many people that I know, that's how they met their significant other. Through people introducing them to them. And it goes back to about working. I never had a job. That builds on too, because a lot of people meet their significant other at their job. I never met nobody at a job. I have a job. So there you go again. It sucks, but it was just the life I was kind of dealt. I'm not going to say none of it's my fault, but I don't think a lot of it was my fault. I had a lot of problems that I couldn't help, and we have a lot of societal problems too that are adding on to this. People just aren't as nice anymore, and the hypergamy of women is getting so bad, that they want the best they can get. Well, I'm not even close to the best they can get, So a lot of them, that's a complete check right off the bat. But I hope you like this video. I just thought it would be good to talk about reasons that I am FA. And if any of y'all have similar lives, mention it in the comment section. I'm tired right now. I'm sleepy, so I'm going to have to get off here. But any of y'all that have had similar lives and experiences, mention them in the comment section. And like I said, each individual point I'm going to elaborate on in a future video. But for now, that's the reason I'm FA, guys. It's not a good situation, but maybe things will get better, right? Take care, guys. Have a good day, and see you soon.